What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about auto fraud. It is getting absolutely ridiculous. There is so much fraud out there. I wanted to put out another video to kind of update and let people know where it's going. Now, about a month ago, I made a video, but I wanted to give you guys an update to let you know what's currently going on in the market and what to stay away from and what to look for. Now, unfortunately, I got a call from one of my subscribers that owns a small dealership in Texas. He purchased 4 cars from a family that was moving out of town and relocating to a different area in the United States. There were 2 cars and 2 trucks. So altogether, they were worth about maybe $235,000. So he made him an offer about 200 grand out the door. The customers went back and forth. They agreed upon it. Wrote the check. Customers left, everything was good. He took the cars to auction. It took about 10 days for them to go through the auction, but once they sold, he got a call from Mannheim saying that there's an issue with his cars, he needs to come down. And when he showed up to Mannheim, there was police there basically waiting for them, asking him where he got the car. He had some documentation, said he bought it from here, here's where they wrote the check to, blah, blah, blah. Make a long story short, all 4 of those cars were reported stolen. Now, how could he buy a stolen car? So I asked him, did he do any due diligence to check to see if there's any issues with the vehicles? He said that first he checked Carfax to make sure that the VIN and the title numbers matched up, which they did, and there was no theft reported on Carfax. Now, Carfax does do some updating when it comes to theft, but unfortunately, it's anywhere from a week to a month and a half behind. And unfortunately, at that time, the cars were stolen. In some of the places in Texas, I guess where he was at, it's very hard to call into the DMV to find out if the car is stolen. So even if you call, a lot of times they put you on hold or they don't answer your questions. And the same thing with the local police departments. Now, some states are kind of lucky. They actually have a software built into their DMS where they can actually check either with the state patrol, the local DMV, or whatever else. But a lot of states don't have that. And some of these crooks are starting to find this out. They're knowing what areas to go to and what dealers to prey on. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, that's good, he screwed over a dealer, but this is a small mom and pop's company that has 3 kids that's basically working just to feed their family and to make some extra money. And now they're being taken out almost $200,000 because remember, once they take those cars, that money is gone. So they still owe $200,000 for cars that are basically taken away from them. And so this is what I want to put out today is you need to be careful with who you're dealing with. Now, we used to buy a lot of cars from out of state and everything else. I stopped pretty much everything because there is so much fraud out there. You know, we had another guy call us the other day. He had a Huracan, you know, had I think 16,000 miles. The car looked like it was beat to hell. I knew the miles were wrong. I told him that I wanted to take it to a Lamborghini place to double check the VIN numbers and check if there was a mileage rollback. Never heard from that guy again. So you're going to start seeing this more and more prevalent out there as basically people go broke, is they're desperate trying to make this money back. So today I want to take the time to tell you guys all the different types of fraud we're seeing, all the scams, and let you know how you can spot them and how to stay away from them. Now, the first one we're going to be talking about is buying stolen cars. Now, I know it sounds pretty simplistic. You're not supposed to buy a stolen car. How do you verify this? Now, back in the day, I would always tell people you need to double check the VIN number. You call the police department. You can go to the DMV and make sure that it's good to go. But always double check that. I know this sounds silly, but we still need to do this going forward. On top of that, this is the latest scam. Now that they're stolen cars, people are doing these things where they have either fake titles or they have fake lien releases. There's people out there that either have people at the DMV or they're making these fake titles that look just like real ones. They'll print all the information out so everything will match on Carfax, but the name and everything else will be different. This is very, very important. If you're buying an expensive car, I highly recommend you go to the DMV and actually do the transaction there or whatever company facilitates your registration, because you don't want to be left holding the bag of basically writing a check, the title's good to go, it's free and clear, and you go to register it, and then you find out there's 2 other lien holders. Another thing that we're seeing a lot of is fake lien releases. This is popping up quite a bit. I never thought I would see as many as I have today. I was talking to a few buyers, one from GimmeTheVin.com, another guy from Car Gurus, another guy from Carvana, and they were telling me that they have so many people coming in with these generic fake lien releases, and unfortunately, there's no real way to tell if it's true or if it's fake. If you guys see some of the paperwork, which I'm not going to share, it's literally super simplistic. It's just a few names and some other stuff, and so they figured, oh, it's got to be on the up and up. He has the title. title, he has a lien release, there's a lien on the DMV, so it must be cleared. It just hasn't updated in the system. And so they process the check, that car gets taken and sold off to somebody else. And that's why you see so many of these companies having these problems with these, cars that were reported stolen, or people still owe money on them, or two banks are looking, or my favorite, the one where the guy bought the car from Carvana, drove it around for 2 weeks, and then it was repoed by a different company because they still owed a loan to another manufacturer or another dealer. So these are some of the things that you're going to start seeing pop up more and more. So that's why we're telling people you need to be extremely careful when it comes to buying cars. Now, if you're buying a car from a dealer, you do have some leverage. Dealers are bound by law to protect the consumer. So if you do buy this car at a dealership and there's something that goes wrong, 9 times out of 10, you can go back to that dealer and the dealer has to make it right. It kind of sucks because the dealer's going to lose a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they do have bonds, insurance, and money and stuff like that to cover them when it comes to stuff like this. So unfortunately, sometimes it's not the dealer's fault, but a lot of it can be avoided if you check. But the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because even me checking, knowing what I'm doing, I'm still seeing this a lot more, and it's a lot prevalent. Like I said, we literally stopped buying any cars from anybody, stopped buying any type of auto loans because it's just getting absolutely crazy. Another one we've been seeing are all these crazy VIN swapped exotic cars. Now, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're buying an exotic car, if you don't pay $1,000 to take it to the actual manufacturer, get the VIN checked out, get a build sheet on it, and have them check every single PCM, TCU, ECM, like any module in that car to make sure that the VIN number matches the one on the car and on the title. Because now with all these Turo gurus that are buying all these Lambos and stuff that we're renting them out, now that they can't sell them for the same amount of money or rent them out, so they're basically taking all these cars that they can't rent, doing some illegal stuff, swapping the VINs and trying to sell them to unsuspecting people. And normally this is not a big deal. We see these maybe once in a blue moon, but it feels like almost every single week they're starting to catch this. A lot of these buyers that I talked to from these other companies were telling me that they're starting to see more and more of them. Every time they ask for certain documentation or they do a live inspection, the VIN numbers are not matching up. And so it's getting to a point where it's absolutely ridiculous. I've seen they just busted a few people here in Vegas. I saw a bunch of people in California, Miami, Texas, New York, New Jersey. So it's nothing that's in one particular part of the area. It's all across the United States. And it's only going to get worse as we go deeper down this recession. I don't give a shit what you say. Oh, the recession is 2 negative GDP quarters. Bullshit. The job numbers are fake. There are more part-time jobs. The jobs that they keep saying are great. There's more part-time jobs out there than full-time jobs. Average American needs 2.2 jobs to survive with current inflation. I'll let you guys do the math. That's not a great economy. And so because of this, people are not living high on the hog and trying to maintain their lifestyle. They're going out doing all these fraudulent things. So with this being said, please be careful when you're buying a car. Use a reputable dealer. If you're buying from an individual, take it to a dealership, double check it, walk through it, go through the paperwork, get it licensed at the DMV, make sure everything is good on the up and up. Another one, a lot of times when you give the VIN number to your insurance company, they use this thing called Invitus where they can actually track to see if the car is either stolen or if it's a real VIN number, so you can make sure that you're not getting a fake or stolen car. But try to do as many of these things as you can possible, because unfortunately, I don't want you to be like this dealer that I knew in Texas. A lot of these dealers and brokers that I'm talking to are at some of these major companies that are, their job is to buy hundreds of cars every single week. And now they're scared because every time they buy one of these stolen cars or these cars with this bad paperwork, they get in trouble. But at the same point, they got to keep buying cars because people are showing up to these dealerships, whether it's Carvana or CarMax or something like that, or AutoNation, they still got to buy these cars and they still got to get them out there. So as long as that's happening, more and more of these clowns are basically bubbling up to the surface to try to do this. Now, I've been working on this software for 2 years now. LoanBridge, if you guys know, I've talked about it a bunch of times. We're working on a program where we can actually verify VINs and actually find out if it's real or if it's BS. Now, it's in the testing stages right now. We're also working on maybe possibly getting a scanner where we can plug in there and we can actually read the VIN numbers from the TCM and TCU to see if it's actual real car, if the VIN number is correct. So this way you're not buying something fake or stolen, because some people don't have the expensive scanners to dig through all that stuff to actually see the serial numbers on some of these modules and computers. So we're trying to do that, but something budget friendly we can send out to dealerships, auto brokers, banks, and as well as law enforcement. So All I'm going to say is please, like I said, be careful, stay away from these auto fraud guys. And on top of that, obviously you guys know if the deal looks too good to be true, stay away from it. It probably is bad. Also, these Facebook groups, buy my car with no title, that stuff, stay away from that, because I guarantee you're going to buy that. You think you're going to get a title or lien it or do something else like that. Don't waste your time. You're basically just committing fraud. You're going to be in the same problem as the rest of these guys. So stay away from it. But with that said, again, I'd like to thank you guys so much for taking time to watch my videos. I truly appreciate it. I'm trying to give you guys up-to-date content at least 3 times a week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram at Lucky Lopez, and we'll see you next video.